like there's more to journalism than just the interview, right? Like sitting down and talking. Okay, like they're sitting down and talking to an artist, right? And the artist says something,
right?
And then whatever you actually publish, if that artist says something that's incorrect, there's a responsibility there to clarify that. Like there is, like that's journalism, right? Like it's not just pointing a microphone at someone and letting them talk and providing a platform. A platform isn't necessarily journalism. That's just like a big microphone. Like if a rapper came in here and said, "Yeah, man, I write all my raps, and I know 5 of his ghostwriters," and I don't say anything, I'm not actually doing journalism at that point. I'm just letting this dude talk and eating off his page views. And so if you want to get into journalism, know what that means.
Have you ever had a bad experience during an interview in that regard?
Yeah, I've had plenty. Like my first interview ever, I insulted Talib Kweli.
Oh shit!
And I was guerrilla journalism. My entire career started off with guerrilla journalism, just taking an audio recorder and running outside and asking people questions that I prepared that they didn't expect me to have. And so there was a listening session for the Genius album with Ninth Wonder and Jean Grey, and they were sitting down, long line at Fat Beats in New York City. They were sitting down, signing copies of the album. And I put my audio recorder on the table and just stood next to them, starting to ask questions. And they were nice enough not to kick me out the way. It was actually kind of cool of them. I thank Ninth for that, every time I see him. And Kweli was there. And right after that, I interviewed Kweli, and I was like, "Hey man, can I interview you?" And he was nice enough to say yes. And at this point, I guess it's my second interview, right? I just talked to Ninth and Jean Grey while they were busy. And now I've got Kweli one-on-one. And I go to Kweli and I'm like, "Yeah, man, how's it going? How's the listening session so far? Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, so, I really got into you with the Quality album, and you were just killing it. You had Black Star, High Tech, and then, you came out Quality, and then you came out with that album I didn't really like. And then there was Eardrum, you came back, and then he was like, "Well, my album A Beautiful Struggle helped me get places where no other album that I'd released prior to that had allowed me to get to." And he completely shut down for the rest of the conversation. Everything else was just one-word answers. And at that moment, I understood the severe importance of making sure I got my facts right. I knew the album, I knew his catalog. I was actually kind of nervous. Again, this is like my second interview. Right. I brain farted like hell, but when you don't come correct, he doesn't know all that. He didn't need to know that. He was doing me a solid. I hadn't accomplished anything. And here I am questioning him, someone who inspired me. And I'm telling him that I ain't like his music. Like he could have just said, "Yeah, nah." Right then.
I could see that. Have you
you
spoken to him since?
Many times since. I mean, it took me like the next 3 interviews after that to kind of get to a better place now. Like now we're at a point where if I reach out, he'll reach back. He'll reach out when he has stuff. Which so it worked out, but that's persistence. I could have quit that day and said I'm not cut out for this because that was a very bad response. Like that's not what you want to see when you go out. Like it can go badly.